Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Learn English with Fatima. I'm Fatima and I'm coming to you from Morocco. Let's learn some English together. Today's subject is modal verbs. Would, should, could, must, can, will, may, and might. You have likely heard these words already in sentences. Today, I'm going to talk about what they are and why we use them, and I'll give you lots of examples. Modal verbs are also known as helping verbs. They help us better understand a statement or a question, but because they're helping verbs, they don't appear on their own. They're always followed by a verb in the infinitive form, and we don't use the word to. Here are those modal verbs again, and I've also included their negative forms. Would and wouldn't, or would not. Should and shouldn't, or should not. Could and couldn't, or could not. Must and must not. You can also say mustn't, but it sounds very proper and old-fashioned, so most people just say must not. Next, we have can and can't, or you can also say cannot. When you're saying cannot, you don't add a space in. So it's not can not, it's cannot. Will and won't, or will not. May and may not. There is no contraction form for may, so you have to say may not. Might and might not. You can also say mightn't, but again, that is a very proper and old-fashioned way to say it. Most people say might not. There are also two other less known modal verbs, shall and ought, and they're not used very often because they also sound pretty old-fashioned, so I'm not going to include them here. Modal verbs add different meanings to a statement or question depending on how they are used. Here are some of the meanings they are used for. For ability, we use can. For a possibility, something that hasn't happened but is possible, we use may, might, or could. For advice, we use should. For permission, for asking permission, we use may, can, or could. For obligation, something you have to do, we use must. And for a request, we use will, would, can, and could. Before I get into examples, I just wanted to mention that when we use modal verbs in a sentence, they appear in the following ways. For a statement, the format is subject, modal verb, infinitive, and then object. And if we're asking a question, we use the modal verb first, then the subject, then the infinitive, and then the object. So if we go over some example sentences, this will make more sense. Here are some sentences that convey ability. We use the modal verb can or can't. I can swim across the lake. I'm able to swim across the lake. She can read a whole book in one day. My brother can't reach the top shelf. He's not able to reach the top shelf. If we want to talk about a possibility, we use the modals could, might, or may. For example, the weatherman said it could rain tomorrow. This doesn't mean it's going to rain tomorrow, but it's possible. She might be able to help you. I don't know for certain she can, but it's possible she can help. I may not attend my friend's party. I'm not sure yet for certain. I may not, or I may. If we want to give advice, we use should or shouldn't. You should eat more vegetables. I recommend it. They are good for your health. He should help his mother lift that. That looks heavy. He should help his mother with that. Children shouldn't wear shorts when it's cold. They will get sick. For permission, we use can, may, and could. Can I play a game before bed? Am I allowed to? You may go to the coffee shop. It is okay with me if you go to the coffee shop. Couldn't you just let me help? You are doing something difficult and I'd like to make it easier for you. For obligations, we use must. Again, this is something that has to happen. You must pay for your groceries. This is a requirement, not a suggestion. The teacher must give the students a grade. That's part of being a teacher. We must help that lost child. That child is lost and needs to find their parents. For requests, which come in the form of a question, we use will, would, can, and could. Remember, for questions, the modal verb comes first. Will you move your feet from my chair? Would you see who is at the door? Can you find out the answer? Could I go with her? What other examples can you think of? Leave some comments below. This concludes the lesson on modal verbs. I hope you found this helpful. Please comment with questions and examples. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly English learning videos. Thank you. Bye.